Hey guys, Tim with Swing Yard here. We're going to be doing another club review today. Today we're going to be talking about the Callaway Paradym AI Smoke Triple Diamond driver. Long name, must be long off the tee. So this particular driver, if you look on the bottom, it's got a couple weights. You can see those blue circles there. So in this model, it's a 14 gram and a 2 gram. I think the other models are a 10 and a 2. So I have the 14 here and the 2 here. If you have the 14 over here, you're going to get more height, more spin. I'm actually trying to get lower spin, lower height. That's one of the things I have trouble controlling with this driver. So I have it up front towards the face. And then lastly, you can see the AI Smart Face technology that they have. Nice sleek look to it. The top crown is pretty simple. Generally just a kind of a basic black with a little checkered pattern. So it's a pretty nice club head, nice look and feel to it, 450cc size. The other thing that you want to always pay attention to with drivers, guys, I always mention these, do your research on your shafts, okay? I'm using the Ventus 6X Velocore Blue from Fujikara. These are expensive shafts, but the shaft is probably more important than the head of your driver. For those of you that don't know and are really trying to dial in your numbers, make sure you're doing your research on your shafts. That's all I'll say about it there. So the last thing I'll mention before we do a couple demos here is I've had a lot of issues keeping the spin down on this driver. It's probably something to do with my swing. It feels very good. I hit it very straight, but as a result, I have a little bit more spin than I want. I'm not getting quite as much distance as I'd want. This is their low spin model, so I would expect it to be, a bit lower than it's coming off, but why don't we hit a couple shots and we can kind of talk through some of those stats here. All right, so I have it a little bit draw biased is the way I have set my shaft. That's just kind of my normal swing, so I'm just going to hit some of those. Now that's pretty good. So I'm looking at the uniquer view session here, and what you can see on the screen, let me actually get the video out of the way a little bit. So main things to focus on here are the spin. So 2400, that's not too bad. That's always like the most spin I'd want. I'd probably be looking to 1800 to 2400. So that's pretty good. You're looking at a launch angle of 10.4. That's actually pretty low. I had just mentioned that, I can't get this to stay down. This is a pretty good drive here. I hit it really well. Launch angle's maybe a little bit low. Why don't we hit a couple more and we'll evaluate a few more based on the statistics of the drives. All right, guys, I just got done hitting 10 shots with the driver, the AI Smoke, and let's take a look at some of the stats. If I put my mouse over here, and I'm looking at a different monitor here, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. So you can see in this, and I'm sorry, the mouse is super small. I talked about earlier in the video, spin with this driver. I can't keep the spin down. If you look at my session, it's pretty consistent, right? I have nice kind of fade. The red one is my last one. You can see I pulled it just a little bit, but a pretty good consistency. I don't have any huge misses. Those are going to find me a lot of fairways. But as we talk about spin and trying to, make the most optimal swing with your driver, I need a little less spin with this driver, and I cannot do it. So 2600, 2800, 25, 28, 28, 26, right? I have 122 in here, and that was a pretty good drive. What was the problem with this one? It wasn't quite high enough. So I am actually keeping it low enough. I'd actually probably want 12 to 14 launch angle if you're looking at this column here. So some of those hit that, but with these spin numbers, I'm just not getting my optimal length. If I'm hitting it 280, there's one 270 in here. I guess you could look at total distance. I was talking carry. Those are good numbers. I'm not going to be unsatisfied with those drives. If I'm talking about optimal, loft and launch angles, like we have an article about that on swingyard.com, please check it out. I want these numbers I want these spin numbers to be a little bit lower. I actually want these launch numbers to be a little bit higher. Like this 13.6 is great, 13.6. But at the same time, this club is very forgiving as a result of that. I'm hitting it straight. I've played a couple rounds with it. I've hit a lot of fairways with it. And I think it does feel nice. And this club is used by a lot of the pros. It's a very trusted premium club. You know, that's probably one of the cons of it. It's still pretty expensive. It's a 2024 model, the AI Smoke is. So they do have Callaway does have a newer model this year in 2025 as of the time of filming this. But as a result of that, you could easily buy it used and get discounts for it. So that's something I'd recommend. I guess my final thoughts on this are, it's a great driver. I would highly recommend it. Make sure you get the right shaft to fit your needs. And if you have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out to us at swingyard.com. Comment in the section below, and we'd be happy to respond to you. If you have any questions about the statistics that I kind of ran over here on Uniquer, please ask. We have more simulator information on our website, swingyard.com. But just happy to talk golf. We love it, guys. So any questions, any other thoughts that you have, let us know. Otherwise, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.